People have asked me where do I get my ideas for my comics, and the sources of that are many. One such source for me is my dreams, and they become a source for ideas because my dreams are absolutely crazy. Sometimes I would get really disastrous, cataclysmic, catastrophic disasters in my dreams. Sometimes I would dream of 10 tornadoes happening at once and destroying everything. One dream I had was an atomic explosion happened on top of the town, and we were all trying to escape. Radioactive people trying to escape. Sometimes the disasters are small, like personal disasters. Like the other day, I dreamed I had a lot of man ticks. Well, they're similar to dog ticks. You know, they usually start really, really small, almost microscopically small. And then they bite the dog, and then they suck the blood out of the dog, and then they become huge. You know, they almost become as large as corn. Corn, the small the corn thing. And same shape as the corn, and but dark gray, you know, somewhat dark reddish gray, like that. I had like 20, 30, 40 of those sticks up my ass, you know, up and around my ass, and they were all biting like that. And I was wondering, why the hell is my ass really itchy? And I'm going like that, and I feel those sticks up there, and I try to remove them one by one, and they bite me. They bite back, and I'm like that, and my fingers are bloody. And I woke up, you know, sweating and terrified, and you get the idea. So, and last night I had a dream, and sometimes dreams are triggered by what I see, or by what I read before I sleep. And last night I was reading this one, The Incredible Hulk, The Essential Incredible Hulk. These are the very original Incredible Hulk stories as they came out in the 60s. And you would think that my dream after that would be huge and disastrous and monster-like. But no, actually, my dream last night was actually kind of laid back. I was in a place, and I needed a ball pen, a ballpoint pen, and I was looking at several stores. Here in the Philippines, there's such places called the sari-sari stores, or the neighborhood stores, and they are run by people. People usually have a mini store in front of their own house where they sell the essentials like junk food, canned goods, and uh, candy, and the necessary stuff in the house like oil and vinegar, and uh, stationaries like paper, envelopes, ball pens. See, there's ball pens there. And one store I went to was a huge one, and lots of people are buying, so I don't want to bother with that. So I went to another one, another place, you know, and it's a kind of an impoverished house, and nobody's buying in the store in front of their house. No, it's just actually they don't have any. They almost don't have anything for sale in the store. But I asked anyway. Anyway, I peered inside, and I saw ball pens there. So uh, I said hello, hello, uh, pabili. That's what you say when you're asking for service inside a Filipino sari-sari store and nobody's there. What you say is, pagbilan, pabili. No, okay? Filipino lesson for today. So, there was this woman, you know, attending to her kids inside, and she was kind of annoyed at me disturbing her, and she was calling her husband. And apparently, it's the husband's job to take care of the store. And the husband came out of the house, was smiling, and said, "Yes, I'd like to have a ball pen." And he gave me a ball pen, gave me a paper to test it out, like that. And I asked how much, and he said, "Oh, 4 pesos." I was like, I'm surprised, you know. For that's cheap, no? And then the guy went inside the house, and then I was giving the money to the wife, the annoyed wife, and the wife asked how much the husband was giving the pen to me, and I said 4 pesos, and the wife said, "That's too cheap. That's too cheap," she says. And I agreed, and I already prepared 10 pesos to pay for it. And she said, "This is more like 10 pesos," she said. So, okay, I had my 10 pesos ready, and I gave it to her. No? So she was kind of annoyed at her husband for selling really cheap. And apparently it's a pattern for this guy, and he would sell cheaply, and then he would loan people stuff here in the store, here in the Filipino stores in the neighborhood. It's normal to ask for loans, no? If the guy doesn't have any money to pay for the bottle of vinegar, "Hey, can I just loan this? Put it on my tab," no? And okay, go ahead. So that's what happens with the guy. He's very helpful guy, no? And the wife resents him for it. And the guy apparently picks up stray animals and takes care of them, no? And mangy small animals, and it takes care of them. And it annoys the woman again because it's added expense, no? Of course, in fairness to her, it's a the only practical thing to think about, especially in these times of economic crisis. You have to watch your money, and this guy is throwing money away. But she can't afford to leave this guy, because the guy is so nice, the guy is so kind, the guy is so, he's a saint, no? And the woman, in spite of her really resenting what he does, she loves him, no? And the children love him, and the people in the neighborhood love him. So that kind of thing, even if it's a simple thing, it gives me really, really good ideas, no, to springboard stories from. And who knows, this guy might appear, this woman might appear in one of my stories in the future.